Okay, hi everybody and welcome back to the Destinies. It's really good to see you again. Tonight we're going to start something a little special. We're going to do a little behind the scenes sort of story. We're going to have several of these. It'll be like a little mini series where I talk about the lore behind the stories, behind the realms, behind the Henge and behind the Seer. And as a matter of fact, those are the two threads we're going to hit on today, the Henge and the Seer. Now, before we begin, a quick heads up. There may be some spoilers in here, little light spoilers as I go through. If we hit anything that might be a little bit deeper, I'll give you a fair warning ahead of time. But there will definitely be spoilers in here about the first book, and there'll be some light information that you will need to have during the second book. Okay, settle in. Imagine the sound of a campfire nearby. For some of you, that won't take much imagining. And away we go. Before the Henge even had a name, long before Mary ever dreamed of flames and futures, long before Colin received that strange, shadowy invitation from the Henge, and long before the dreamers were ever called dreamers, there was a woman named Ishua. She lived so far back in history that the stories only survive through memory and voice. And one of those memories, one of the oldest, survived to be written down in the Trials of the Hallows of the Sun. It tells us this: humanity did not begin here on this world. They had already fled 3 collapsing worlds, and 3 times everything they knew just completely fell apart. And then came the 4th world, our world, this realm, cursed when one powerful being took on the appearance of another, anger disguising itself as something great. And the people, confused and divided, fell into conflict as the tides of that deception spread. But, and this may sound familiar, the children of the birds loved the people of the sun. And so they crafted 7 treasures to help the people survive. They scattered them across the lands of the trickster: the torch, the staff, the harp, the cup, the cloak, the kith, and the air. You already know 3 of these. The Kith Stone, referred to mostly as the necklace or the talisman in book 1. The air, whom we call the seer or the dreamer. And, spoilers, the bull, which we revealed at the end of book 1. Now, each of these treasures carries its own abilities, its own power, but they alone cannot save the world. So the world needed someone who could see choice, who could really see choice, the way a weaver sees threads and strands interweaving together to make a whole. And that someone was Ishua. She could perceive strands of fate, the branching paths ahead, the futures waiting just beyond our sight. And she saw one terrible truth. One day, her line, her descendants, with this gift would be needed again. Not in her lifetime, not in the lifetime of her children, but someday. And here everything changes. When she saw this vision, Ishua looked at her children, her daughters and her sons, and she understood something no one else could. Her daughters would carry this gift of vision down through the generations. Sorry, the puppy's having fun down there. Her daughters would carry the gift, this gift of vision, down through the ages, down through the generations. This gift that might someday save or doom this 4th world. So she made a decision that would echo for thousands of years. She bound up the key to unlocking this site into a stone and chain, a necklace that would pass from mother to daughter, always to the youngest daughter, and she set her sons up to guard the daughters and the stone. And from that day on, the daughters became the carriers of the gift, the earliest dreamers, the forgotten seers, and the sons became their guardians, the first Henge. It wasn't about magic, it wasn't about prophecy, it was about responsibility, it was about duty. The men didn't have a name for themselves yet, but they didn't need one. All they knew was a girl in this family dreams and she must be protected. But time erodes memory. Are you having fun down there? You're interrupting my story, Betty. I hope you're just playing with your own toy and not ruining something I didn't see. Mai, what you got? Mai, what you got? I can't see it. What does he have down there? Mai, what you got? Really? Really? He's playing with my fire maple. Mai, what are you doing? Stop that. No, no, it's not for you. Where's your bone? Here, this is for you. This is bone. Here, bone. Bite this. Okay, where was I? Oh my God, puppies. I've got a puppy. All right, where was I? Time, eroding memory, right. War, migration, fear, all of it chipped away at the truth. But the Henge did keep their duty, but they kind of forgot their purpose. They kind of forgot the truth behind it all. They remembered the dreamer, but not the seer. And the seer herself, well, she never even knew the Henge existed. Now, fast forward thousands of years, and the vision gift, which was once bright enough to illuminate futures, receded. It retreated. Fear buried it. Persecution silenced it. Women who knew too much, who sensed danger or possibility before it happened, well, history hasn't always been kind to women like that. Some were burned. Some were locked away in convents or sanatoriums, and most were just dismissed, gaslit, punished. And slowly the gift began to fold inward in order to protect itself. Visions became dreams, certainty became fragments, and the seer became the dreamer. It was the Henge who changed their name, not to erase the gift, but to protect the women who carried it, to keep them ordinary, unthreatening, safe. But names have power. By calling them dreamers, the Henge eventually forgot that they were ever seers. Over centuries, some branches of the Henge kind of drifted away, broke apart, records disappeared, knowledge splintered. We don't know how exactly, but there was some big thing that I haven't imagined yet. There was some big thing that happened to the Henge. Mai, stop it. That is not for you to chew upon. Arg. Where was I? Again. Okay. So like I said, something happened, something I haven't imagined yet, and may or may not, depending on where the story takes me. But even though their clear mission became a vague, uncertain obligation, one rule survived. There's always a girl who dreams, and we must protect her. Now, here's a spoiler warning. It'll be a spoiler to book one if you haven't read book one yet. So, spoilers! If you don't want to see this part, skip ahead 20 or 30 seconds. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to tell you this. Okay, here we go. We're talking about the Henge now, the modern Henge. In the modern world, the Henge does not look ancient or secretive at all. Well, that's not true. If you got in, you'd know they were secretive spy organization. Yeah, you would, but you wouldn't know what they were really doing. They look like librarians, archivists, IT specialists, baristas, shopkeepers. They all kind of blend in on purpose. They understand data, they understand surveillance, and they understand how information moves. They also have a lot of information about genealogy. Just so you know. And as technology, and soon AI, spreads even deeper into everyday life, the Henge learn to work inside that maze as quietly as their ancestors once worked through actual mazes and trees and forests and The growing industrial revolution. What have you got now? Mai! Sorry, he's allowed to play with that one. Oh my goodness. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, so the henge has learned to move in the modern age in ways that, are reflective of what they did in times before. But they're doing it now with modern technology, soon with AI, and subtly. Their work is very subtle. It's very subtle, invisible, forgettable by design. Today, recruitment is rooted in concern, staffing, needs, not prophecy. But here's the key. The henge doesn't think they're guarding something mystical or magical or supernatural. They think they're protecting someone vulnerable. They know about the dreams, but to them, that's just scientific. It's just a piece of science we haven't figured out right now. They don't know anything about the realms or vision gifts or darklighters or light workers. They don't know that. They just know this is the girl we watch over. They have no idea what the dreamers or the kith truly are. And now we come to the truth buried under centuries of silence. Every dreamer is a seer. The gift is simply forgotten how to wake. But a fully awakened seer is someone who can see the strands of possibility, much like a miracle mixer. She can sense those branching futures, and she can feel the subtle shifts between the realms. She can feel the movement of the veils, and she can recognize that exact moment where a single action can shift reality from a probability to a certainty. He's looking at his reflection in the windshield again. Oh my God. Mai, it's just you. It's you. I swear to God, it's just you. Okay. Where was I? So, a fully awakened seer. Oh, the most important thing about a fully awakened seer is that they know how to turn probabilities into certainties, not just higher levels of probabilities, but actual certainties. And the darklighters, they want that power. Oh, okay. So I told you the big thing that the darklighters want from the light workers. Okay, so here's the thing you need to know now for this story. In book 2, we start to realize that the veils are thinning. The darklighters are doing things they've never done before. Light workers are doing things they've never done before, like falling off the strands, book 1. Miracle mixers sense the imbalance, and the hallows, the treasures, they're waking up. They're going to start showing up more in the world and in my stories. So Well of Destiny, my book 2, dives deeper into all of this, into Jessa's path, Colin's choices, the treasures, the prophecy that the henge only half remembers, and mysterious books that show up out of nowhere. I'm so excited to be writing this story. I can't wait to share it with you. But somewhere out there, maybe in book 2, maybe in book 3, a new seer is coming. And I can't wait to introduce her to you. And this is the part where I decided I wanted to tell you a little bit about my writing process. Particularly for this particular story. Every author's story differs a bit. So when I wrote Stone Destiny, the first book in the series, I wasn't planning a series. I wasn't planning a whole universe. I wasn't planning lore. I was literally just writing down a strange dream that I had had. I didn't know the history of the henge. I didn't know that dreamers were seers. I didn't know about 7 treasures. Actually, I didn't even know there were any treasures. I didn't know Mary's future. I definitely didn't know Jess's future. And without spoiling anything, let's just say that the very first scene in book 1, I actually didn't know that it was pointing directly to the heart of book 2. How could I know that? I just had a weird dream. I wrote it down. It became more. And next thing I knew, I was writing a book. So when it comes to the planner versus pantser thing, First book, definitely pantsing. Second book, planting. I've heard some people call it that. I've heard it at least once. But the truth is that my world revealed its this world, my world of this book, revealed itself to me in by the characters. The characters, the way that they acted, who they were, the secrets that they held, all revealed themselves to me, and eventually became this entire magical, wonderful. Oh gosh, I just love living in this world. It's amazing. That's the magic and the chaos of writing a world that unfolds one page at a time. So, next video. Now that you know about Ishua, the Henge, the lost seer, the weakened gift, and the fragments of lore still waiting in the shadows, you might be wondering what's next. Like, what exactly are the realms? Where do the darklighters and the lightworkers come from? What are coils exactly when you spell it with a K? Is that important at all? And why are the veils thinning? What the frack is a veil and why is it thinning? And what does any of this mean for Mary or Jessa or the people they love? So if you enjoyed this little lore by the campfire moment without the campfire and lots of interruptions by Zipuppy, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you would like to help the Hallows awaken and maybe, just maybe, protect your own coils from any extra nosy darklighters, go ahead and like or subscribe. Because every time you do, a darklighter somewhere loses just a little bit of job security. This is the Destinies. Keep dreaming, my friends. See you next time. Bye.